If you like this video, please rate, comment, share and subscribe. If you dislike it, please tell me why so I can improve. This is of course a computer mouse, and the purpose of this video is to commemorate the death of Douglas Engelbart, who has died like a couple of days ago, who invented the computer mouse. This is obviously on the left hand side, as it should be, unless you use the numeric keypad a lot, in which case it should be on the right hand side. And obviously it's also a optical mouse. I'm not actually very keen on mice because I feel like you're drawing with a boulder, and you can change the sensitivity, but basically no, they're not very good. I'm not left-handed, by the way. There are of course other pointing devices such as this thing, and actually I find that quite pleasant to use. And in the past there has of course been the whole light pen thing, which actually I thought was quite fun. The idea is you touch it to there, but it only really works on cathode ray tubes, and you get the gorilla arm effect, which is that you lift your arm up and you get eventually very, very tired. So it would have to be more or less at a 30-degree angle to the desk, so it's like sort of that rather than like that, which would be very tiring. But I noticed actually, interestingly, that there are now touch screens, and of course you can use that. You can use the webcam because you can just sort of gesture at it, which is what Kinect does. And in my time I've actually also used even these as pointing devices, and the alternative is a trackball. Back in the day, of course, we used to have these, and instead of having mice we would have cursor keys, which are not on here. You don't even get the cursor keys. What you have to do is you have to shift and press some of the number keys, and the same applies obviously to the Jupiter Ace, shift and number keys. Although with the Jupiter Ace you could of course write a screen-based edit, not a screen-based editor. Well, it's a screen-based editor, but not in the way you think it is, where you just use commands to move the cursor around, and that's actually a lot less sophisticated even than having cursor keys. One of the things that I like about mice is that they're quite mechanically understandable. Basically, what you have is, with a mechanical mice, is you have two wheels, and those wheels indicate the X and Y position of the cursor. And what they can do is you can have an LED going around a cog, shining or not shining through a cogwheel, and that's how it counts where it goes, although I'm not sure how it does the direction. When the first optical mice were invented, they had to be used on special mats which had a grid on them so that the computer could work out where they were going with the photocell. But that's no longer necessary. Mice were first successfully used, I suppose, with the Xerox Alto, like so many other things, because the Xerox Alto more or less invented the GUI, which is, Windows, icons, mice and pull-down menus. That was of course ripped off by Apple, and Apple went on to develop the Lisa. Microsoft then went on to develop Windows. And Microsoft introduced the mouse in 1985 as an accessory to go with the Word program, word processing program that it invented in about 1985. After that, mice became quite ubiquitous. I'm not actually keen on them at all, even as pointing devices. I think trackballs work better because they're more precise, they're going to get covered up in gunk. But I do like the way mechanically they sort of make sense. They're something you can get to grips with. You can imagine the signals going down there and the signals coming back again. As it happens, you can even put a mouse on here, because what you can do is you can use the edge connector to connect an RS-232 serial interface, and the first mice, as Linux has recognised, interface with the RS-232, the serial interface, and so they were kind of teletypes in a way. That's how Unix looked at them. That's it for today. Rest in peace, Douglas Engelbart, and it would be nice if we come up with a better one, but then they're sort of a bit passé now because we've got styluses and touchscreens and that, so I think probably their time is sort of gone, to be honest. Anyway, bye!